Hello students, welcome back to the online class of Semstar Global School. Myself Pratima Singh, and today we are going to continue the chapter 25, that is what is government, and this is the fourth part of the chapter which will be the last one. So in today's video we will talk about the different topics that are, the first one is universal adult franchise. And the second one is the struggle for universal adult franchise, in which we will talk about the two movements that are the suffragette movement, and the second one is the anti-apartheid struggle. Then the third topic is importance of democracy in a country. So let's start our video with our first topic, that is what is the meaning of universal adult franchise. So universal adult franchise means that any person or an adult who is above the age of 18 years has the right to cast his or her vote in an election. No one should be discriminated on the basis of caste, race, religion, literacy, wealth, sex, and so on. And if the people feel unhappy with the government, they can also remove it from power, because in India, election is held in every 5 years. Now, the second topic, that is the struggle for universal adult franchise. So, the first thing is that what is the meaning of word suffrage? So, the word suffrage means the right to vote in an election. Like nowadays, every person has the equal right to vote for any government. But in earlier days, it was not so. Women were not allowed to vote, as the people used to think that women are meant for household works, and if they will start participating in politics, they will neglect their responsibilities as mothers and wives. So women were not allowed to vote, and this led to the movement of struggle for universal adult franchise. In the late 19th and early 20th century, women became educated. They wanted to be involved in the political affairs of the country and be treated as equal to men, which led to the suffragette movement, which started in America in 1848. And as a result, women in various parts of the world got the right to vote, like in New Zealand, they got the right to vote in 1893, in Australia in 1902, and in USA in 1920. Then the third point is that Emmeline Pankhurst was the pioneer of the movement. She was the lady who started the movement, and the movement adopted extreme methods to draw the government's attention. And during the World War I, the plans that were made earlier were changed, and then National Union of Women Suffrage Society was built. It was formed in United Kingdom, in which the members of the union used to write letters to politicians, protest for their rights, articles were published, and as a result, in 1918, women who are of more than 30 years and has some property and educational qualification were given the right to vote. Then, as a result of the protest and actions taken by the union, there were many other countries also who started giving the women the right to vote, in which, like Denmark was the country in which the right to vote to women was given in 1915. Then Belgium in 1921, Greece in 1934, France gave the right to women to vote was in 1944, and in Japan it was given in 1945, and so on. And as soon as India got independence in 1947, the women who were of 18 years or more were given the right to vote. So this was about the suffragette movement. So now we will talk about the anti-apartheid struggle. The policy of discrimination against the blacks by the whites in South Africa was called as apartheid, in which racial discrimination was done. Then, a policy of segregation was followed by the National Party government of South Africa between 1948 and 1994, and under this, the majority, that were black inhabitants of South Africa, were discriminated against, and they were denied of human rights and political rights with the minority white people who used to rule at that time in South Africa. Then the third point says that they were not having any voting rights. So non-white people could not vote in South Africa and also can't say against the government that was in the ruling power. Then Nelson Mandela led the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa. He spent over 27 years in prison for the cause, and finally the blacks were given freedom and they formed their own government in 1994. They voted for the first time in the election of 1994, and then the Nelson Mandela won the election and became the first black president of the South Africa. So this was about the two struggles that were fought for equality. Now we will talk about the importance of democracy in a country. So the first point says that democracy helps in protecting the interests of citizens. People get the chance to vote on the key issues affecting their country or can elect representatives to make these decisions. Then the second importance can be that it promotes equality. One principle of democracy is that all people are equal in the eyes of the law and every person gets a vote and has their own different rights which they can follow. And this third point is that it prevents abuse of power. In democracies, people in authority are usually elected by people who vote for them. They are therefore responsible for carrying out the will of those who elected them, and if they misuse their position, they won't be re-elected in future. And the fourth and the last importance can be that it creates stability. Democracies have rules and laws that provide stability and protect human rights. Democratic government have time to make changes and that are in the interests of everyone. So it helps in creating stability. So students, with this video we have completed our chapter 25 of social and political life. In the next video we will start the revision with the history chapter, the third chapter of history. Thank you.